Right, so super easy here. We're going to do a quick lashing and go through the correct way of balancing the legs and finishing off the end. We have 2 pins, simple back and forth through all of them. When we're speccing the strength of the lashing, the generally accepted numbers are that the lashing is 1.5 times the strength of the material. So each pass will be 1.5 times however strong the single piece of dyneema is. So if this dyneema is rated at 1 ton, we'll have 3 times 1.5 ton, which is 4.5 ton for 3 passes. We generally want to have at least 4 passes on a lashing, and that means there's enough friction in the lashing itself to stop the hitches at the end from taking up all the load of the lashing. The hitches on the end should have almost no tension on them. The friction in the legs of the lashing should take all of that. When we're finishing up the lashing, we want to pull on it and pull each individual strand. Make sure that they all have the same tension. Whereas here we can have this has a lot, this has a lot, this has less, this has almost none. So we can overload the lashing and then ease it until we have equal tension on all the legs. Want to make sure we have even amounts of passes on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When we finish our lashing, we want to go straight in from whichever side is the last pass. So from this side, we go straight in. We can go through the middle of the eye like this. And we don't want to do any locking hitches here at all until we get to the very end. So we go straight down, around, straight down again. And we want to do a figure of 8 back and forth for at least 8 passes. Correction, a figure of 8 for at least 5 passes until we finish it off. Very simple for the eye in the splice. Once it gets to a point where it seems it will naturally sit on the inside of the figure of 8s, just go on the outside. Go back and forth. Every time we pull on the end of the lashing to maintain this tension, simply pull down towards the one eye and take the slack out. There should be no room for movement in any of these frapping turns. Pulling down, keeping it tight, down again, and continue to go back and forth one at a time, tightening up the lashings and the frapping turns until we have 5 passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side. When we finish it off, we will do a full hitch on one side of the lashing and end it inside the other side. So here we go around and underneath to have a half hitch, like so. Back up, around, and up to give us our full hitch on one side. And to secure the tail, we go into one side of the lashing and under one strand, over top of one, back down the other. Once we have this, we will tape here, cut it, and then tuck the end of the tape into the other side of the lashing. And the load of the lashing will help secure this end through 3 passes and the knot, and this will not slip. If we are concerned about a lashing coming undone, we can simply put a stitch through the last two legs, and this will prevent any flogging from undoing the lashing in an unweighted environment.